Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for October 6th. We are currently looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair closed lower today. It did come real close to testing the support level of this low, pretty much in the same line. It's already tested it once during this brand new session. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways as well. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 89.33 and hit resistance there. Look for it to potentially move as low as 88.58 while hitting support there. Now let's switch to the Euro USD pair. Let's go ahead and change that. Okay, there we go. This particular pair closed up today. It moved higher. It did break through some resistance that we had right here and here and here, this resistance area that we had all through here. Did break above it, did close above it. This pair is moving sideways still with a bias that is sideways. We are looking for it to potentially move as high as 148.41, possibly as low as 145.74. Look for some resistance around 147.64 and look for some support around 146.73. Now let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This particular pair closed down today. It is moving sideways, consolidating down. There is definitely a breakout to come. We are looking for this pair to possibly move as high as 161.45, possibly as low as 157.68. Look for some resistance around 160.65 and look for some support around 158.23. Now, looking at the US Swiss, this particular pair closed down today. It is moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 1.0385, possibly as low as 10173. Look for some resistance around 10306 and look for some support around 10236. Now, as far as news announcements goes, we have the Eurozone releasing their GDP report for the second quarter at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it is the same as last time, previous at negative 0.1%. Now, year to date, they're showing that it is the same as well at negative 4.7%. If those numbers hold true to the consensus at that point, it really won't have too much of an effect on the euro. However, if the GDP for the second quarter or the year to date come out worse than expected, we could definitely see it hurt the euro. If it comes out better, we could see it move higher. Now, we also have the Australian unemployment rate for September being released at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Consensus on that one is that it has the unemployment rate has moved higher from 5.8% to 6%. So if we get a number much higher than 6% at that point, we could definitely see the Australian dollar moving lower, at least in the short term. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? Well, the pound US dollar pair has just been consolidating down. And let me draw some trend lines. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we have definitely some potential for a breakout to the upside, looking to basically buy right here. And our next point of what is basically our next point of resistance, or what used to be support would now be resistance. If you notice, we have right here, this high is really close to it. We have a area of resistance there from here and an area of support from here. So if we get a break, look to go long at 160.27 and come on up here, and you're looking at a profit of about 100 pips. You could use a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Probably even a 50 pip would be would do it as far as as far as this trade. Now, if it moves to the downside, you have to back out a pretty decent ways to actually see this. That may be a little far. We have a potential for a point of support right here, and our next level of support would be a little bit lower to right about here. This is actually a nice window of opportunity. So if it does get beyond that point, that would be really good. And of course, we have this low. So let's zoom back in now that we have some support levels to look at. Okay, basically, if we have a short, if we're looking to short at 1.5821, our first level that we're going to hit of support should be around the 50 mark. The next level about 78, 75. And then we have a wide open range down to about 300 pips worth of profit, down to 1.55, 55.15. So down to the downside, we definitely have a large range of potential for it to move. As far as to the upside, the next level beyond the 100 pips that I would look for would probably be around the 163.92 mark. So that gives you a good idea in either direction of a very nice move. Give this thing at least 100 pips to run to the upside or the downside, and I believe you will be rewarded. If you do hit this first area, you can either take your 100 pips off the table or go to break even and look for it to run over several sessions up to this point. Same thing with this one. When you hit 50 pips up, you could go to break even, lock in that you won't have a losing trade. When it hits 75, go ahead and move it into profit, 25 pips, and then just let it run and see if we will move on down to this number. Now I realize that both of these numbers are pretty good distance from the current market, but if you look at the chart, this is just what the support and resistance is showing. So, and as you can see, it can move fairly quick through this area. I mean, it did it within 2 sessions here, and it did it pretty much in 1 session. The range there was definitely that large of a pip range. So it is possible for this to occur within 1 or 2 sessions. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.